Well, hello there. It's Lady Martinique here, as always, coming to you live from my little Martinique manor. And I am wanting to tell you that tonight we are doing tea and shading. Yes, we are shading our faces and spilling all the tea on all things drag, etc. I am joined this evening. I am very, very happy to be joined this evening by the one, the only, my partner in crime, Miss Peppa Spray, who's lost the plot.
It's
She's reading a book.
me!
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, honey. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. I've had a lovely day off today.
Oh, good. I'm pretending to know how to share this. So,
yes, I was just looking at that myself.
Yes, I just want to go into...
Normally it comes up and tells me that you've gone live, so...
Oh. I'm alive? It's a fallacy, I tell
live,
you.
oh.
It's an absolute fallacy.
So I might have to do it on my phone. So yes, people are watching us actually.
People are watching us trying to figure out. People are watching us trying to figure out what we are doing. So, boys and girls, ladies and gents, we are just sharing our live broadcast. So, for those of you that don't know, Peppa Spray is actually one of those fortunate people that works in education, and as such, the only thing we're going to talk about tonight, as far as that's concerned, is that Peppa is never ever available to do a tea and shading with me. And suddenly on Saturday night, we realised that the old slapper's got the week off. The old slapper's got the week off, and so we thought we'd grasp the opportunity with both hands.
Definitely.
For Peppa darling to come and play, because she doesn't get to come and play. Oh gosh.
No, and also I don't think many people have actually seen what I look like.
I don't think so. I was just thinking of that now. I was just thinking, I don't think many people have seen you out of drag.
No.
Out of drag. So there we go.
We're getting lots of comments coming up already. It's all like, put your phone down.
Who said put your phone down?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I was going to say.
I shall look at that in a minute. I'm having trouble sharing that over, and I'd rather talk to you and all of our lovely people that are watching.
So we got Sean saying, hey Sean, how are you?
Hey Sean.
Hey Adam, thank you very much. My little verseful phenomenon.
It was good.
Which we could eventually share late yesterday. It's the weirdest thing, Pep, because when you do videos or titles or stuff for us, you just save it into the Dropbox, and I upload from the Dropbox into here. And we know how that works now. We've got ourselves sorted. We've got ourselves ready to go. But my God, yesterday afternoon, they'd sent it on Messenger like you do. They'd sent me the video.
Yeah.
Make It Rain did the video. She compiled it for us, sent it to me, and I went and saved it like I always do into my downloads, and then tried to upload it like I've done everything else other than what we do through Dropbox.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go over. And then I asked her what she saved it in. We tried to do another format. We tried to email it to me. It just wouldn't work. So I had to hold my phone up to the camera eventually like that for it to play. But then late last night, I was able to share it to our pages.
Yeah.
So yes.
And that's all I can say is amen for Dropbox, because you know we've got so many videos and things that people send us that we use on our show. Yes. I know. Oh, the beautiful, lovely Liz.
Your number one fan.
All I shall say is shh.
So for those of you that don't know, Peppa and I are partners in crime. We started drag together on hi Charlotte. Oh, I like your photo. It's very mysterious. Ooh. We started drag on the 5th of September last year. I think we're 24 weeks in now, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And so we've done 6 months of drag together. But for those of you that keep coming for us and telling us we don't know what we're doing and we're just digital queens, Peppa and I have actually both worked in television, theatre and film, and extensively behind the scenes and on the scene. And so we just decided we would like to take ourselves from backstage to front stage. I'm very well, thank you, Sean. Hey, Harry. Hey, May. How are you? May, your ears must have been burning. I just mentioned your name 4 seconds ago.
It was all good.
It was all good. Yeah, it was.
It's all good.
So I'm glad this is getting going. We're going to get going with our faces, but I'm glad this is going because
this is going to be quite exciting, actually.
For the last 2 weeks, I have been cursed somewhat because 2 weeks ago my guest wasn't able to appear, shall we say?
Yeah.
And then last week my guest appeared, but I couldn't hear them. And then
there was a lot of technical problems last week, though, wasn't there?
And then once I couldn't see them, I couldn't hear them. They then went off screen, and then all the audience said they could hear them. Are your headphones in?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't put headphones in?
No, I have a separate speaker. Okay. So I've got a speaker that I set up that's way behind the computer screen and away from the microphone. So I found that actually stops feedback.
Okay, it stopped now, but there was an echo, and I was like, that's weird because we don't usually have an echo between us.
Hello. Yes, it's all this open space.
This is going to be my best tea and shading ever.
She knows how to flatter, doesn't she?
It's nice to see the real yous.
I know.
Hi, Heidi. Heidi, hi. Sure, you've never heard that before. Right. So yeah, 24 weeks in the hot seat. We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot in our short time.
We certainly have.
We have built up some really lovely connections with gorgeous fans, with gorgeous other drag queens, kings, transgender people, etc. And we have got lots planned. Now, we're not going to give away all the tea because we're going to save some for later, but we do have plans, don't we, Pep?
We do. I think that's one of the things that, I mean, obviously, we talk before every single show. So we kind of talk about the show, we talk about the guests, we talk about life, kind of get everything on the way, and so we can get on with the show. But then also we kind of get together every once in a while and we sit down and we plan all our up and coming shows. And
so people do ask us about that. People do ask about that. So let's tell them. So basically, on an afternoon of a show, traditionally, Peppa and I will usually link in at about 4 o'clock. We'll chat for half an hour or so, sometimes a little bit earlier, depending on how much we need to get talked about or how much we need to clear up. And we clear up any confusion for the show, any idea of who's doing what track or what's happening when. If either of us have any queries, we deal with them in the afternoon. Then we break for dinner, and we both spend dinner time with our respective spouses. And we kind of give each other the space to do that because we know that once we get going with the drag, there's no seeing us till at least 10 o'clock at night. So we kind of both take our time to do our dinner thing.
We go drag cognito, don't we?
Drag cognito, yes. And then we're back on it. And so Pep and I usually try and start by 5:30, the two of us, on Zoom. And from 6 o'clock, all our fans join us. So we have super fans, we have VIPs that like to sit and watch us do our faces. So they would have seen you do your face before because they're regularly in on the thing. Yeah. On the event.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things that during those early days I wasn't really in for showing who I am behind the makeup. Purely because I didn't want people to jump to the it's a female dressing as a female. Yeah. And I think that can be quite an issue sometimes. People jump to conclusions. And as we've spoken before, I identify as non-binary.
Yes.
So I don't actually see myself as female, but I have a female body. So obviously being in drag is kind of me getting in touch with that girly side of me.
Okay.
Because obviously day to day I'm more of your
day to day you look like this. Day to day you don't usually put on makeup.
No.
You don't put on frilly dresses or anything frilly, frocky, glitzy, glamorous. No. Peppa, obviously we're not going to go into it, but Peppa works in an educational environment and she works in the science department, so she can't, even if she wanted to,
Yeah.
she wouldn't be wearing sequins and frills and bows because
the nails.
because of the nature of your work, though. You wouldn't
Yeah.
want, a frill getting caught on a Bunsen burner, for argument's sake. I know it's exaggerated, but
Yeah.
because of your work, you also kind of, I would say, dress down for work. You don't wear high heels and stuff,
Yeah, it's not worth wearing anything expensive or whatever.
And that's also why your job suits you down to the ground, because you can just go in comfortably and just be you, doing your thing at work. Now, even though Peppa's non-binary, which she's just shared, Peppa actually has a Mr. Peppa, and he's been around for how long now?
We've been together
Apart from forever,
almost 8 years now.
Wow. Well, we'll be 8 years in June. When are you 8 years?
We'll be 8 in October.
Okay. I didn't know we were just longer than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be 8 in June, 1st of June. We'll be married 7 years in April, and together 8 years in June. So there is actually a Mr. Pepper around.
Yeah.
So, it is.
Yeah, I think the terminology they tend to use for it is androsexual, which means attracted to men.
Oh, there's another word.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a word for everything.
I think you're just inventing words now, Pep.
Oh, why not?
I don't know how, but Bella's heard you, so she's come flying into the room to say hello to Auntie Cat.
Oh, bless.
Who's not here right now. Auntie Peppa's here. Right, so now on your bed nicely, Kim. Also, that's Andrew opening the door going, is the dog allowed by you, so that she doesn't have to bother or pester him? So she'll be, but she, you know where her bed is. She's comfortable here under the table, but I can't have her on the table because Martin broke his seat on Saturday. I snapped my seat, and so I'm now sat on a higher stool, which Peppa found hysterical. And so I'm on a taller seat, which means she can't jump up. Right, Sean says, loved your show yesterday. Thank you. I am very blessed to be working with such talented other queens, Sean. They really do make the work easy. Hi, says Heidi. Heidi, hi. Okay. What are those wipes you were using, Peppa?
Right, so basically what I do is I use 2 kinds of wipes. So I have like makeup skin cleansing wipe that I use, but I also then use a water-based wet wipe.
Okay.
Because I found that sometimes when you're getting rid of makeup from your fingers, it can make them a little bit sticky.
Okay.
So I always have the water-based one that I can just wipe my hands off afterwards to get rid of any stickiness that's on it. But yeah, it's just normal face wipes.
So the joke for me, which might not go down well, but anyway, I noticed that when we first started in September, you and I were both breaking out a bit on the skin as well. Because neither of us was used to wearing A, makeup, but B, the quantity of makeup that we're putting in.
Yeah.
So where Peppa's doing face wipes, I'm doing a primer at the moment. So where my beard line is, where my facial hairline is, I have put orange eyeshadow in. You can use eyeshadow. You don't have to use color corrector. But I'm now going to go over that with powder, with a loose base powder, because I have discovered that if I don't do this, my foundation starts to go orange. So I've put the orange powder in to counteract. So it's a color correction for the blue or the gray tones that come through in my skin. And I'm now literally setting it with loose powder, which is now all over me, so that it doesn't bleed through onto my foundation.
Yeah, I remember being asked the other day about kind of why I put this layer on, and probably to you guys it looks white, but it's actually a green color correcting layer.
Right.
So you kind of use it for red tone skins to stop them from being quite so red. And obviously, as you were saying, we've had acne breakouts ourselves, and I do have a bit of scarring on my cheeks for it. So I find that it tones that down.
From drag?
No,
from before. From before.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. How do you make a hormone?
Don't pay her.
Don't pay her.
But yeah, I've also discovered.
We're here all night, boys and girls. Here all night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can get rid of us if you wanted to.
Well,
but yeah, I've also discovered that obviously when I do drag, I like to try and change the shape of my face. And a lot of that is done the same as with art. It's light and dark contouring, it's shading. And for me, I find that the green is a really good base for putting the light colours on. Okay. Because it makes it look much lighter, and I therefore don't have to put on quite so much white to make that area of my face stand out.
Right. So
I love changing the shape of my nose.
Ew. Right, so what questions might you have for Peppa or for myself?
Yes,
they can be about makeup, they can be about drag. Go ahead, pretend you're interviewing us. What questions do you want to know the answers to? Keep him tidy, it's not a family show. Although yes, Peppa works in science, so she can do a biology lesson if she really needs to. She has flowcharts and diagrams.
You're forgetting my models.
Oh, yes. Your animatronically correct models.
Animatronically.
Okay, I breezed over that. You highlighted it. Rude. They wouldn't have noticed.
Yes, I've just noticed Liz's comment. The answer is yes. We have sorted out our PayPal accounts now.
No, the answer is no. Liz, well, Peppa's one is sorted. Peppa's one is sorted. My one is just using my other business account still, because the problem is, unlike Peppa, I can't prove that I'm female. Because I actually don't have working parts. So my Lady Martinique PayPal is problematic because they want me to prove that I'm a real lady.
You know, it's a tuck.
Yes, but tucking don't prove you're a lady, and I don't have a passport or a document that says that I'm actually a female. Yeah, small problem, first world problems, but problem nonetheless. It's weird because a lot of people have their drag what do you want to say? Their drag PayPals. In fact, we've even got one for Tenor Ladies at Large for our business.
Yeah.
But I think I must have set that up slightly differently. And this is the thing when I get left to set up technical things. They always go wrong. That's why I hand them over now to the Department of Peppa. I wonder if... I hope that's going to... There we go. I was hearing echoes again. Right, so to answer your question, Liz, Peppa has, I haven't. And mine is purely because of anatomy. Right, so Peppa, you have for our show developed hey Jane.
My family.
You've developed a family for the benefit of our show, and you have a great aunt.
Yes.
Who we've modelled loosely on Jane Marple. And you have a nephew.
Well, I refer to them as being my nev-niece.
Your nev-niece, Devon, who I seem to think reminds me of like Jim Carrey or the other guy, Wilson from Dumb and Dumber. That's where I kind of place Devon in my head. That's where Devon sits. So,
bless.
Having said that, I mean, I challenged you and said, let's look at doing some segments and things, and we've got a further plan for those segments when we break into the real world. But so Martin comes to you and goes, we need segments, da 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 da. And how does Peppa get from a conversation with me to the actualization of that character?
I think it's because obviously with these characters that we've got, we sat there and we said, okay, well, this is what happens on a daytime television show.
Yes.
So it would be quite nice to have some of those segments in to kind of elevate it a little bit differently.
Right.
So
that was the conversation we had, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, what kind of programs could we see, or what kind of segments could we see on the program?
Right.
And I think we just rattled off quite a few of them, didn't we? Different kinds of things that you could have on there. And we'd always been quite keen on having some foodie type segment.
Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those things that it had to be done in such a way that we could kind of upload it and use it as and when we wanted it.
Yes.
So
the functionality came into it.
Yeah, so I think the Miss Marple character came first.
Yes, she did.
Because I think we were talking of something to do with tea and biscuits, and I just thought, wouldn't it be really funny to have like some dotty old girl kind of sampling biscuits each week, and then coming out with the most outrageous Mills and Boon type comments about these biscuits. And I sat and worked out that I was going to make 12 episodes to start with, and kind of wrote 12 biscuits down, and then I wanted to do it where it was a recurring theme. So virtually everything is the same. Those that have seen the show, virtually everything comes out of her mouth is exactly the same except for her descriptions.
So it's always the same year, it's always the same region.
It's always the same year. It's been grown, made, whatever, in France, in Champagne region. But yeah, her descriptions of the biscuits, and we've actually not come on to the more Mills and Booney ones.
Oh,
you've got those to look forward to.
I didn't know that. You see, I'm not watching ahead of time. Yes. I'm only delivering what
exactly,
you do for that week.
Exactly. And that's one of the things about not watching it beforehand, that you can kind of you get the fun of seeing it firsthand.
I remember the first one you shared with me, I was howling with laughter before we uploaded it, because I couldn't work out how you'd come to all of that from just a little conversation that we'd had.
Well, I think it's the same with any kind of writing comedy. You waffle and
you've got to spitball ideas around. You've got to throw
yeah, you just go as outrageous as you can do with your thoughts, and usually it's the ones that are most daft are the ones that tend to kind of swap the ideas that come from it. So obviously, as I said, the Jane Marple one was quite easy to put together. The Devon ones were a little bit more difficult because we'd said about having a weather forecaster, and saying about the pictures in the background being slightly different. And then I kind of took that and thought to myself, well, what would be funnier is having somebody that has no experience doing the weather being made to do the weather, like a YTS or a trainee or something. And obviously, working at the school, I see a variety of students coming through.
Oh, that was very diplomatic.
Who kind of have inspired me to do this slightly, Devon would rather be playing on the Xbox than being there.
Or looking at his belly button fuzz or something.
Yeah, so kind of the idea of having someone doing it but not actually realising that this is what's happening as they're doing it. And literally kind of thought, right, okay, well, I've got this, and this that I can use as costume. And I think I came home on a Friday. I wasn't working, and dressed up to do the Devon ones in the morning, and literally shot all the videos back to back, and then changed over to Miss Marble in the afternoon and shot all those back to back, and then just edited them into the separate segments. So I did learn a lot about video shooting and video editing that day.
Well, all power to you, because I did that phenomenon thing for Make It Rain on last week, and I nearly throttled myself because I don't know how many times I had to press go again because I'd got a word out of place or couldn't hear what I was saying, or something was wrong, not to my liking. So I kept reshooting it. So all power to you, because it ain't easy creating.
Certainly not.
It's rewarding to create, but it's not easy.
Oh yeah. And the thing is that I've done it once now. I've learned how to do it. So watch this space.
Oh. Yes, because we've got two other characters that I need to record that we're going to introduce. So that's the other two of our four staple characters, and then we were looking at expanding and doing other things with the characters that we've got and their extended family, shall we say?
Yes, I think that's probably the polite way to say
renditions we're doing.
I mean, it kind of saves us having to drag anyone else in to do stuff, especially for us. And I think it's one of those artistic things that you know what you want and you know the best way to get it. And do my pupils know? Oh, yes, some of them do. I co-run the LGBTQIA plus group for our Key Stage 3 students. So they're the older ones, are the 15, 16-year-olds. And obviously, because we're doing all the online meetings at the moment, we used it to kind of get them all talking, and kind of showed them a picture of Peppa and said, "Oh, any idea who this is?" And the year 10s had the best reaction. They obviously didn't know who it was, and when I told them, it was literally like, "I am shooketh," and they all decided that I was Pog. So I've understood now. Pog's supposed to mean awesome.
Right.
So I'm down with the cool kids now.
Are you feeling awesome?
Yes, because it's kind of opened up this huge conversation for us about drag and about how dressing different ways can make you feel differently about yourself.
Right.
So and a lot of them have realised actually when they dress up as their cosplay characters, that's drag, but that's cosplay drag. So it's kind of opened their eyes a little bit about what you can and can't do, and opened up about how they can explore their gender identity without necessarily having to go down the route of going through all the operations and the hormone changes and everything. Because let's face it, it's an awkward time in your life.
Yeah.
You're not really gonna.
Hormones aren't balanced. There's all sorts going on.
Oh, exactly. So yes, bless them. They're an amazing bunch of kids, and I'm so blessed to be working with them. And you know, I've had kids coming up to me in tears because I am the only non-binary member of staff, and for them to realise that there is actually somebody else out there who, you know, doesn't conform to gender stereotypicalised normality, then they've actually found it quite empowering themselves. So,
can I ask? I know we said we weren't going to discuss your work too much, purely because Peppa's not really permitted to discuss too much to do with details around her work. That sounds very cloak and dagger, but you know what I mean, for child protection and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to know, how have the staff received you? The staff that are aware. With your gender, not necessarily the drag, but like the non-binary bit.
I think, thankfully, a lot. One of my colleagues, when I went up to them and first said, you know, I've come to this realization I'm non-binary, and I just feel so amazing because I now know I'm not one or the other, and I can do whatever I want. And he just looked at me and said, "But I've always seen you as you."
Yeah.
And that kind of made me think, well, actually, everyone else has always seen me as this. It's just me that hadn't seen me as it. So yeah. I think those that I have told, it's just not something that that is a topic of conversation. So it's kind of just it's the same as somebody saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'm a man and I'm a woman," and it's all like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." So the fact that nobody's actually making a big issue, because for me, I was worried that people would talk differently to me or react differently to me.
Yeah,
and thankfully they haven't.
That sometimes comes from a lack of education, as in, you know, they're not aware of what the acceptable pronouns, for starters, what the acceptable pronouns are, what the acceptable features, you know, what's acceptable topics of conversation. And so you get a very difficult I would say cross section of humanity where people don't quite know what they can and or can't do. Jane now thinks I'm moaning. Jane, I wasn't. She's saying sorry because she asked the question about the pupils, and then she's saying it's confidentiality. Yeah, it's just something we weren't really going to discuss tonight. But no, she meant when I said like you shouldn't be discussing it because of yeah. I'm explaining myself badly. Neats, no, you're not the only one here. Everybody is doing their own thing. My counter says we're on 4 people. Woohoo! The best 4 people are here. That's what we got to say. The best 4 people are here. So, yeah. So we were talking about Miss Marble and old Devon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you enjoy them? Have they grown on you?
Yeah, it's kind of like they're my babies. I'm quite possessive over my babies. Yeah, it's kind of like creations from my mind that I've brought to life, and it's one of those things that when you see something come to fruition that you've just imagined.
And it's now living.
It's like any art form, really. If you've got a painting and you've imagined it, and then you make the painting and it's exactly what you imagined, or it's as close to what you imagined as possible. But yeah, it's. I do like them, and I'm really interested to see where I can take them in the future. But I've always loved character stuff. you know,
so it wasn't really a
funny
challenge for you when I
voices
asked you to do it. It was more of a, yes, I get to play.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, it's great fun. I mean, that's it. You know, everybody goes through their day-to-day lives, and you know, it's not always easy to escape from day to day, especially with everyone being in lockdown. Um, you know, it can be quite difficult.
Yeah.
But to me, it's kind of, I can put on a character. It's not necessarily method acting, but it's not far off. So basically, I put on the Devon clothes, and I spent that entire morning talking like Devon and acting like Devon, and then the same in the afternoon. The Miss Marple goes on, and I spend all afternoon talking with a very silly voice.
And you drank 12 cups of tea.
Huh?
And you drank 12 cups of tea.
No, I didn't drink the tea actually, or eat the biscuits.
Oh yes, actually, because it's just a dunk test, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, it's the same cup of tea, but yeah. So this is what I mean about you can change the shape of your face with shading. Is because I can always give myself a more pointy nose.
Okay. What do you see your nose as being then?
Oh, I've got a weird pig nose.
A what?
A weird pig. It's turned up at the end. So it's quite a turned up nose. It's a little button. But I always find that when I use the contouring on it, I can really bring it to a small, delicate point.
And the weird pig determination, is that by you or is that a...
Oh, it's a generalised thing. There's a lot of people out there that knows about weird pig noses.
I've never, ever heard of it.
See, you learn all these new things. Right.
So, there we was, doing our thing. Nobody wants to ask us any questions. So we developed the characters, and we have the other inserts that are sent to us by the lovely Belladonna, who got engaged yesterday.
I know. Oh, well done.
Lots of love, Belladonna, from the girls here at Tea and Shading and
definitely
Lounge.
We're getting our hats.
Sorry, hats. Yes.
Yeah, we're getting our hats.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Belladonna got engaged. Yes, I think she got engaged yesterday, actually. And I think she's back in Mexico
Valentine's
now.
Day.
Yeah. And then we have Christine, who's... Huh?
Then we have our makeup by Christine.
Yeah.
And all of her beautiful products.
Who's just relaunched her range. Well, her
they
palette.
are stunning. They're really lovely pigments, aren't they?
They are.
And I think certainly that's one of the things that kind of we've discovered when it comes to using eyeshadows is that you really want something that's got a strong pigment to it.
Yeah.
You know, paint for the back, darling.
Because we're not here to play, honey. We're here to slay. So with development comes change. And there will be things that we're changing on our collective shows, but I don't even know if you know this yet. I am actually changing this show as well.
Ooh.
So you heard the tea here first, all 4 of you that are here. This show's format is changing, and we're going to change channels as well. It won't be here on Facebook anymore. It will be moving. In the next week or two.
Ooh.
Yes, indeedy.
You're going to be getting some men in to help you move.
Oh, yeah. So I have never got this under eye thing right. Now I know you do your special under eye.
Yes.
Let's have you sing like you did with Justin Timberlake. Who sang with Justin Timberlake? What's that all about?
Reface AI.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so there was every once in a while I go on and see if there's anything interesting comes up on there. And there was a Justin Timberlake and Madonna song on there. So I superimposed my face onto Madonna's body.
Of course.
Because I thought, it's not really much difference. So.
Is that the one where you said that time I was Madonna?
No, it's that time I was singing with Justin Timberlake.
Oh.
So I also put like my movie ones on there as well. So there's that time I was in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's whatever I can find, I stick on there for a laugh. I have tried doing it with drag face, but the problem is that it doesn't recognise my white under eyes. So I end up actually coming out and looking more like Sophia Loren. So that's
isn't
why
always a bad thing, but not for this
on it. But it's a bit of a laugh.
Hi, Lady M. Hi, Pepper. Shillian.
Oh, Liz has asked us a question.
What have you both found the most difficult about drag? Taking makeup off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, it takes you a while to actually find something that works for you, doesn't it?
It's just such a mission. Such a mission. Because some of it's oil-based, some of it's powder-based. There's layer upon layer upon layer. Often an angle grinder won't help. I am joking.
Or are you?
Ooh. Well, after the recent weeks in my life, I have to keep reminding people that sometimes the things I'm saying are actually jokes, not actually me being serious.
I'm joking.
I mean, I can only think of one instance where you've seen me be serious, Peppa. I can only think of one scenario or two actually, where you've seen me be serious. Or more serious than with the drag. One being when I do my evenings of mediumship, and you've helped me with those. Where although I'm still bouncing around and crazy, I have a different approach, I would say, approach to that. And the other one is at Guru Market, when I'm trying to deal with store holders, etc.
Yes. But yeah, I think for both of us, we kind of have our different scenarios, but we like to have fun while we're doing it.
Oh God, yeah. Well, can you imagine us being serious 24/7? That'll be like totally not cool.
Like whatever.
Like whatever.
Oh my god.
So I've put my white eye primer on that I usually do, but I think somewhere on the brush there's still some black makeup, so it's gone into this ombre grey, which is quite nice.
You'll never get it to do that again.
Totally on purpose, of course. Like totally.
Well, Nix is telling us to use micellar water after face wipes.
Yes, I've done micellar water. I've got it right next to my couch, funnily enough.
Yeah, I always tend to use one of those microfiber cloths.
I've got that in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So our microfiber
warm water,
microfiber warm water. That's what I do. And I do exactly what Trixie Mattel does. I do this. I take this off first up here. Then I take side and side, under eye, mouth, neck. And then I literally wipe one eye with one sweep. Boom, gone. The other eye with the other sweep. But the problem is that it's the mascara and eyeliner, the black eyeliner, and those are the things that don't want to ever move out the way.
Yeah, I get the same problem with my eyelash glue.
Yes, that's another culprit.
So it's going to go all quiet now. Just concentrating.
Do you know what you're singing Saturday night already?
I do, yeah.
Is it from the movie Big Business?
No.
Oh, okay. 80s.
It is 80s, yes.
Yes. I've kind of possibly chosen a song from the movie Big Business.
Ooh.
Because we watched it last night for research, of course.
Oh, obviously.
And what gay man would actually watch a Bette Midler movie for fun? Cough, cough.
I know.
But I was quite surprised that there are quite a couple of theme tunes sort of in it. Yeah. And I thought, oh, well, then I'll sing that. So, happy mistakes, says Jane. Micellar water and face wipes work well. I don't like face wipes, Neats, and let me tell you why. Because you can't flush them down the loose. You have to throw them away, and they give me a funny feeling, do face wipes. So...
You're using them in the wrong place.
So, I've gone to the microfiber cloths. Happy mistakes, says Jane. I'm the queen of microfiber cloths. I have every color and for every purpose. Well, we bought grey pack. Oh, I don't know if you got a different color, didn't you, Pep? But
I got a multicolored pack.
I shared a link with Peppa, and we went shopping for similar products with a lot of the stuff that we bought because we were buying makeup at the same time. And then we got a lovely gift from the lovely Liz, and we went and bought makeup together with our gift from Liz, which was very, very generous of her. But the two drag queens in a makeup store is just, you can't write a sketch on that.
Well, remember me saying at the time that whenever I go out to buy stuff, I don't go out as Peppa, but I do find myself turning into Peppa as I'm walking around the aisles and looking for things.
And that's passive. You're not actively doing that.
Oh no. It's kind of I get into this frame of mind, and it makes me act in a certain way, walk in a certain way, and it's quite nice actually.
So where does Peppa stem from? I mean, aside from the name, I mean, like where do you find her? How did you find her? How did you get to her?
I think for me, looking at all my kind of drag heroes, I'm
bring the receipts. Come on, who are they?
but we've spoken before about things like that. It's
we have, but the audience wants to know who are you
for those that aren't here. It's Ben de la Creme.
Agreed.
Jinx Monsoon.
Absolutely.
Trixie Mattel.
Yes.
I adore. I think she's amazing.
She's actually grown on me, funnily enough.
Oh, can that girl perform? But yeah, I kind of go for the non-fishy queens.
Okay.
I think, to me, I like a queen that's got a bit of personality and a bit of a sense of humour.
And I like the drag queen as well.
Yeah, and that they can grow. And obviously Bianca. Love Bianca.
Bianca's my favourite.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of just a culmination of lots of things that I put together.
Yeah. I like Bianca's ability to snap back.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know, she gives people time to have their say, but if she's going to give you time, honey, then you better stand back because she's coming for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Best be warned. She's not just going to let you have your say. She's going to have her rebuttal as well.
That's it, and you better be prepared. This is some new stuff that I've been trying recently. It's you know, the Snazoo face paints.
Yes.
They can actually get them in brush format now.
So that's what what do you mean brush format?
Like this.
Oh. So she's a pen.
Yeah. So this is what I've started using to do the white under my eyes.
Okay. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It does go on quite well. It's very easy to get off, obviously, because it's water-based.
Right.
So I don't know what it will do when it comes to performance, but it's certainly much, much easier to get off than Clown White.
Yeah, my Clown White is happily just resting in my toolbox now. I will pull it out. I know I will. When we go into theatres, I know I will be pulling it out because it's a different scenario. But
yeah, they do loads of different colours in the Snazoo range. I think they do them in like 3 packs. But I picked these up from the range.
Ooh.
Yes, the thou must have a bottomless wallet when you go in there. But I think when it comes to kind of your drag style, it's always changing. Kind of, you might do one thing one way one week and then slightly different the next week.
I think if it's not changing and evolving, then you become stagnant.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that once you find your face, you don't stick to it, because I know we've just discussed, like, you have a certain way of doing your face or certain traits that you like to keep, like the white under your eye.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there's always room for growth. There's always room for betterment.
Oh, definitely. I mean, for me, the black eyeliner above, the white eyeliner underneath is basically because I'm not a huge fan of having so much makeup that close to my eyelids. And also kind of being a woman of a certain age or a person of a certain age, hooded eyelids, it's a pain in the backside to kind of spend hours doing eyeshadow only to have that area disappear. So
you bring the drama down.
Do the whole lot in black, and then I haven't got to worry about it.
So you bring the drama down to your face.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it like that before. That's actually quite an interesting way of thinking about it.
Yeah, I think I saw something ages ago about it. So obviously, if you were doing like a smoky eye or something, you'd make that whole of that area really smoky, and then put the colour up on the top.
Yeah. I think my eyes are done, but I've made a mistake and used a color on my nose, which I thought was white. Well, it looks white on the palette, but it's called Pink Lady, and what it's got is a pink overtone. So now I'm using Fair Play over it, and now I've gone all Tinkerbell sparkly. Look at this. God almighty. I've now got a white shining airstrip on my nose.
So what lovely messages do we have on here?
Just Jane Barker laughing at us, and then Jane saying, "That's interesting to know you can be more precise with them." Oh, with the pens. Yes.
Oh yeah, I love a pen.
Yeah, that's one thing about working in schools. I used to work in a school. You become a stationery addict.
No, I'm talking about.
All that nose is sparkly. The shimmer on my nose now. It's literally like metallic spray paint. Oh, I hate the spill out from my palettes. Constantly trying to clean up the edges of the palette just to preserve its pristine nature.
Yeah, I've always said when we move to somewhere bigger,
and you get your drag room,
a workshop area, so I can put all my stationery and all my drag stuff and my paints, and
that's where I'm set right
now. Get it out of the way.
That's where I'm set right now, in my little work area. Does nobody have questions for us? Liz says she also loves stationery.
Good girl.
At this rate, we might finish early. But true story, the first couple of weeks we did our show, Peppa and I were taking 2 hours to do our makeup. Probably mostly because we were chatting as well.
Well, it's that kind of apprehension. You don't really know what to do next.
Yeah.
Just in case it goes wrong.
But also that whole finding your face, mapping it out, as you say, contouring and changing the shape of your face.
Oh, God, yeah.
All of those things happened over a period of weeks. I think if we look back at the first, I mean, my favorite photos of the two of us together are still from that first week. And we both look so different now.
Yeah.
That first night, after we did that hen party in the afternoon, and we went from the hen party to have supper here, and then we got dressed. This was all between COVID, by the way, guys. It was between the lockdowns. And we kind of got dinner, sorted ourselves out, and then started our show that first night in September last year. That night, the photos from that are just too gorgeous. But if you look at that Peppa, she's very different from this Peppa.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And yet there's nothing wrong with that Peppa, if you know what I mean.
Oh no.
Like it's not like either of us looked like awful on day one. But we both certainly have come on a treat since day one.
Definitely. Right. Let me put some pepper eyes on. It's better. I can see you all now.
Hello, lovelies, says Danielle. Hey, Danielle. Have we had support from the drag community? What do you mean by that, Liz?
Has anyone spoken to us?
Liz, I will... Oh, this is a dangerous minefield. I will say that I don't know if the drag community quite knows what to do with us. Because we're both of a certain age, and I will put myself in that bracket too. Because neither of us is 20. But neither of us is 20,
no.
To be fair. And neither of us wants to be throwing ourselves around the dance floor and doing death drops. Well, we could, but we'd both end up in A&E in Bournemouth.
I literally would be a death drop.
And the rest of the show would have to be refunded to all our patrons. But as far as the drag community is concerned, I will probably safely say, in fact, I don't really care, but I'll safely say that in Bournemouth, the community of drag queens that run the scene, in inverted commas, is very small and very insular. They like working together. They obviously wouldn't want any other drag queens coming to take their gig, as the young kids say. And that's certainly not what Peppa and I are about. So I would say this. If people actually did have a conversation with us, Liz, instead of avoiding us, they might find out that we're actually no threat to anybody else, because we plan to create our own opportunities rather than trying to come for somebody else's work. And I think that comes with maturity and people feeling threatened and whatever as well. So I certainly haven't got time to play games with kids. Whoops.
Yeah, I think also because we have other things that are going on in our lives, and drag is not the be-all and end-all of our existence.
How dare you!
Well, no, but you know what I mean. We have other jobs we do. We have other situations that we
do.
We are in.
You mean drag isn't everything?
Drama.
Says he with the wonky eyelash. My progression is this, people. I've gone from not wanting to put my lashes on because they used to irritate me trying to put them on, to now trying to see different ways of putting them on because I'm trying to get to the perfect perch for them. I think support is great, Liz, and I think advice is great, but I think that people often see something new, something different as being something threatening, and for that sake, people have not been as forthcoming as what they might have been. And that's fine. You know, as Peppa says, we both actually have other work that we do. And so for us, the drag is a byproduct of something that we want to do for entertainment and for our own fun for us. And if people are feeling threatened by that, then that's them, not us. No one had better not threaten my Peppa. Okay, well, Never mind me then. Drag's all about you finding yourself and being creative. It's about expressing yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Danielle. Whether you're a boy, a girl, a three-legged dog, anything you want to be, you go ahead and
I'm
do
in
it.
Joey J mode now.
As long as, oh God, as long as you're not hurting or harming anyone else. I think that's where Peppa and I get along so well, is that we have very similar drag ethic sort of beliefs. And we have a similar sense of humor. We kind of understand each other.
We can get into trouble.
When people have tried to drive a wedge between us by doing whatever people do, but to no avail, because we have no interest in that. Are you done? Are you done?
Oh, I don't know. Am I?
Well, I'm done for this evening. I've got really gorgeous lipstick, but I'm not going to put it on because it's an 18-hour lipstick. It's Lip Sense. It's amazing. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't bleed.
Exactly. That's why I've just gone for a normal lipstick tonight.
Yeah. So I'd rather not put my fancy lipstick on because it's also not inexpensive, but it's a really lovely product that Shelley Ann Cosford sells. And that Lady Wilson sells. So if you are interested, it comes with, it's called a lip kit. So it comes with the lipstick applicator. It comes with a, what's the stuff you put over a lipstick?
Gloss.
Gloss in whatever color you want. And then there's a third vial, which has the lipstick remover that you'd have to paint on afterwards. And it goes a little bit like sand on your lips. It kind of, exfoliates, really. I'm not sure how much it is, Danielle, retail, because I did a sister deal. So, Danielle, but you can certainly get hold of... Huh? You can certainly get hold... Oh.
Love her.
And her bowl cut. You can certainly get hold of Wilma Lee Wilson or Shelley Ann Cosford, who was on here earlier. Shelley Ann, are you still here? I don't know if she's still here. I can't see who's here. And they can certainly give you the details on that. I did have a link, but I don't have it anymore. So this is me. I've done sort of purple and pink eyes with gold highlighty bit. My usual flyaway lashes. Now these lashes I made myself. People keep asking me about these lashes. It's the main lashes are a big set of lashes. They are quite huge, but they are black closest to the eye and they come out to white. And then I've put a pair of 301s above them and a pair of 301s below them and sandwiched them in between to give me a lot of black fluff closest to the eye. It gives me a bigger eyelash band to glue onto, makes them a lot more sturdy. A lot more sturdy, and so that I'm able to actually get a better purchase on my eyes. I've been sticking them all along the edge of my eyelid, but people have been saying to me, stick them higher up, which is what I tried today.
Yeah.
Sort of don't go onto the eyelid, don't go onto the end, go onto the eyelid itself and try and lift up the sides. I do want to try it sometime, Peppa, but I wasn't brave enough to do it tonight. To do some, I mean, yours is extreme. So Lady Martinique wouldn't come all the way down here with the white. But I do want to try and get that oval eye that goes up that people are trying to do, which would be amazing. But that is basically that. My eyes are really sore because I do 3 sets of makeup a week now, and so I am trying to give them a bit of a break. So I didn't do eyeliner tonight, but I did do white primer under the eye just to open it a bit more. And as we said, we didn't do mascara, and I didn't do my lipstick stain.
I never bother with mascara.
Really?
Never use it.
Really?
Yeah. Just big lashes, darling.
Big lashes.
Yes. It is quite funny, isn't it, that once you kind of put the mug on,
with the new.
Hello, gorgeous Christine.
I get what you're saying, Christine. It's new for me. Yes, it's not a new technique, but I like the way people are sculpting their eyes, almost like a V coming in. But I don't know whether it would suit Lady Martinique, Christine. I have no idea whether it would suit my character, and so I thought I'd try it on a Monday night. But I am changing the format of the show. So this show, probably tonight, will be the last version of this show as it exists.
I'm honoured.
For various reasons, but one of which being, as you can all tell, we are, where are we? 20. Well, we're the 15th today. Yeah. Tonight's the last one. So Peppa, you're on my final show of Tea and Shading.
Tis an honour.
In its current format. But yeah, so we are going to be changing the format, changing how it works, and it will be hosted on a different format. I'll say it like that because I need to chat to Peppa first. Use baby oil and a cotton bud to help remove lashes. Now, I'd be nervous to put baby oil so close to my eyes. Removing the lashes isn't a problem, Danielle. I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with getting my eyelash glue off. For me, it's when I go into my waterline on the inside with the black or with the white. That's the problem. Is that I end up with these gorgeous smoky coal eyes underneath. And Andrew keeps saying to me, I look like someone from Pirates of the Caribbean with their pirate eyes. Because it is. But it's true though. So that's where I have the problem, is getting the makeup out from within my eye. And I did make the mistake with my microfiber cloth the other day, and I got a bit too excited with my face, and I actually grazed my eyelid, the skin of my eyelid, because I was rubbing so hard. So I've got to be more gentle when I'm trying to do.
I think the thing is that obviously using the white underneath the eye, it will drop down and means that you won't have to use anything quite so close to your eyelids and your eyelashes.
Yeah. Help soften the adhesive. Close your eyes and do it on strip-on lashes. Oh yeah, I've got, Danielle, that bit I've got sorted. It's the under eye problem I have. So boys and girls, I think we're done. School's out early tonight.
Do we have to go?
Well, you and I are staying. As always, it's been a pleasure to be here with you guys. I don't know how many of these episodes I've done, but Tea and Shading is going to change the tea and the shade from next week.
I guess you'll be wanting some titles done then.
Yes. I wonder who I could ask.
I don't know.
So, look out for the new format, boys and girls. On Saturday night, Peppa, who do we have? We have the lovely Christine painting her face using her recalibrated palette, the gorgeous palette.
Palette with the mirror in.
Yeah. And we have Carmel Toe with her wigs and more wigs, and Carmel will be our singing guest, doing 3 numbers from the 80s, and Peppa and I will be singing as well. So we look forward to seeing you on Saturday night. Take care of yourselves, make sure you behave, and if you don't behave, let us read about it in the paper. Go and share, go like, go follow all our pages. Don't forget, Peppa Spray now has a YouTube called A Pinch of Peppa. A Pinch of Peppa. So go find Peppa over there. And we shall look forward to seeing you all soon. Be kind, rewind, play nicely. Bye.